My friend Dwight came to visit this past weekend. Dwight travels a lot, and he has this thing whereby whenever he goes to a country, he wants to drink Guinness there, which I'll be honest, I find a little bit ridiculous. It would sort of be like going to somewhere and trying to find a Starbucks. I mean, you can get Guinness anywhere, but that's his thing. He's got to find Guinness wherever he goes. I currently don't drink, and since I've moved to Valencia, I haven't drank, and so I'm not familiar with a lot of bars or places to get alcohol. And so we use the Maps apps in order to try to find a place where he can get a Guinness, and it takes us to the most touristy of the tourist areas. Here in Valencia, we have Ciutat Vella. It is the old town. It is where a lot of the historic places are. So it is a tourist area by definition, but in Ciutat Vella, there is a touristy area of the touristy area. And in that touristy area are Irish pubs, and these Irish pubs are places where you can get a Guinness. And so my friend finds one, we go to it, and he gets his Guinness. I'll be honest, I felt uncomfortable. For me, the vibe was off, and it was just that it was clearly an expat establishment. And I mean expat in terms of a place for people from another country who live in an area and they don't seem like they want to integrate. I mean, it was like a little piece of England or the UK right there in the middle of the touristy of tourist areas in Spain. And we have the same thing in places in the United States where you have areas where people from other countries tend to congregate. And there's a difference between places that are sort of like open to all. You know, for example, we might have, Chinatown in Los Angeles, or there are other different areas in Seattle where there are a lot of people from a certain country, but everyone is welcome. You can go to the restaurants there, you can go to the different stores there, and you feel fine. But then there's some other different places where you go there and it's like, ooh, this is just exclusively for people from that country. And that is the vibe that I got from this place. It might have been because there was a football game on the television. And I'm talking about football as the majority of the world calls it, not football as we call it in the United States. And it was predominantly guys and sort of an aggressive atmosphere. But anyhow, I was just like, yeah, Dwight, drink your Guinness and let's get out of here. To be clear, it is perfectly acceptable for people to want to retain their culture when they move to another area. It is part of who they are. But then there are situations where it becomes problematic, and that's when someone is living in another country and they don't want to learn the language and they don't want to learn any of the traditions or norms of the country that they are living in. Or maybe they only want to associate with people from their own country, or they want to create little areas that are exclusive for people from their own country. That's when it just becomes, not a great situation, and a reason why a lot of people who are from that country and live in that country and, in the host country are uncomfortable around those kinds of expats. I get that a lot of the animosity against expats is about more than just taking over local spaces. It's about economic issues. It's about housing, it's about jobs, and it's about prices. And not all expats are bad. But yeah, I get that some of them are.